Hi, my name is Sayah, and I'm going to share my Dell loader story. So, I first became acquainted with Dell during my time in the Aurora district, and that was in the mid 90s. Dell was also in the Aurora district, and our OA chapter was the Hayuchuk chapter. We only knew of Dell as kind of this legendary figure, but quickly I began to listen to the things he had to say and heed his advice. And he became a mentor to us in the chapter. One of the things that he did with us is to take us to the Laluska Foundation down in Southwest Washington, where they had a longhouse and did a great authentic ceremony. And during those long car rides, we would hear his philosophies on scouting. And one of the great things we heard about his philosophy on scouting was that it wasn't about getting first place or second place or third place, but instead trying to meet a standard and beat a standard. And so what we learned is that setting standards and working towards those standards is a lot better than trying to be first. And that has guided almost my every move throughout life as I think about the philosophy of how to improve and how to be better. Only seek to be better than yourself. Don't try to seek to be better than the guy next to you, because that's going to be your limit. But if you're trying to be better than your performance today, there is no limit. You'll just keep going. And so that I have to thank Dell for. I don't know how he became so wise when it comes to that sort of thing, but he did, and he passed that on. In 2005, I joined the fire department in Monroe as a volunteer, and in 2009 I was working my first year as a career fireman, and I was at Station 32, which is on the way to camp. And we get a call. This is burned into my memory. We get a call in May, early May, and I remember that it was for the camp. The address was on Woods Creek Road, and when I heard the address, everyone went to the map, and I yelled, "Get in the rig, I know where we're going." So we get in the rig, we drive up to the camp, we get to the dining hall, and someone says it's up the hill. And so we drove up the hill, and when we get there, we see Dell on the floor, and the Lake Rossiger firefighters are trying to revive him. So we jump into action. We've got a paramedic with us, and we get him into the back of the ambulance. He gets a tube down his throat. We do, I think, a moment's worth of CPR, and he starts breathing again on his own. And it becomes pretty apparent to us that he's been incapacitated by a big medical emergency. So we take him down to Monroe Valley General, and we get there, and Dr. Bennett says to me, what kind of person is he? Is he active? Because of course he wasn't a spring chicken at this point. I think he was 79. And so Dr. Bennett says, what kind of person is he? And I said, well, I was told that he jogged up the hill to get to where he was when we came to see him. And I've seen him jog and run, and he's active almost every single day. And Dr. Bennett said, that's all I need to know. And he tells his nurses and staff, we're going to do everything possible for this guy. Just getting to take care of this person, who for me was larger than life, was a major moment. Afterwards, Scott Meeker, Mike Kelly, Mike Gaylord, myself, Joyce Johnson, and many, many people organized work parties to clean his house up. And that house was overgrown and unsafe and dangerous just because Dell was focusing on his youth and his scouting program. So we cut back bushes, and we pressure washed, and we painted the house, and we plastered the ceilings, and we organized dozens, I think, of work events and thousands of hours of work. And by the end of all that work, we had a house that we felt confident that he could come back to. And that was what we could give back to Dell. And that's what scouting's all about to me, is you receive, as a youth, you receive knowledge and wisdom and tutelage and mentoring, and then as an adult, you give that back to the program and to the youth. And so for us, we were giving it back to Dell a little bit too. And countless people joined those work parties. And that's one of the things I felt like I could do for Dell to give back, along with all our people who joined in from the Wood Badge community and the OA community and the Aurora district and everywhere else. So Dell, thank you for teaching me and mentoring me and giving me lessons that I still use today.